Cervantes, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. Today, I'm proud to present Senate Bill 280, which calls for a statewide special election on November 4th of this year. The special election would allow California voters to consider a constitutional amendment, ACA 8, which would allow this legislature to engage in a one-time, mid-decade redistricting of our state's districts in the U.S. House of Representatives. The Citizens Redistricting Commission would then be able to engage in its regularly scheduled independent redistricting process after the 2030 census. SB 280 also appropriates the funding necessary for the Secretary of State and our county registrars to administer the special election. The bill also makes the necessary statutory changes to allow the June 2026 statewide primary election to be held on time. California did not start this redistricting fight. This fight was brought to us. We are here because President Trump and Republicans in Congress know that their agenda is deeply unpopular. They see the writing on the wall. They know that mass deportation that uses secret police to kidnap people off the streets and into unmarked vehicles goes against every American value. They know that voters will hold them accountable for the spending cuts they jammed through Congress, stripping health care away from millions of Americans. They know that giving tax cuts to billionaires while Trump imposes tariff taxes on essential goods like coffee and bananas are raising the cost of living that will hurt working families. What Trump knows is that the only path for Republicans to hold onto the House in the midterms is to change the rules in the middle of the game. That is why in Texas and in other red states, Republican legislators are preparing to redraw their congressional maps so that Republican politicians get to choose their voters instead of letting voters choose their representatives. They want to silence the voices of Latino voters, Black voters, API voters, LGBTQ voters. And essentially, Trump wants to change, again, the rules of the game in the fifth inning so that Republicans get 4 strikes and Democrats only get 3. Their goal is simple: to rig congressional maps in Republican states across the country to make it impossible for Democrats to retake control of the House of Representatives in 2026. California cannot stand by while Donald Trump dismantles our democracy piece by piece. We will not let him determine the outcome of future elections years in advance before any votes are cast to prop up his authoritarian presidency. And if you doubt that Trump is trying to become a dictator, remember that he sent armed federal agents to harass the peaceful press conference that we held last week with Governor Newsom in Los Angeles. The truth of the matter is, if we let Donald Trump get away with rigging elections through gerrymandering, we will not have free or fair elections in the United States in the future. If Donald Trump pursues this partisan power grab, then California is ready to respond. But let me be clear, our plan will only go into effect if Texas and other red states move forward. If Trump does the right thing and gives up on redrawing congressional maps in Republican states, red-held seats, California's current districts will remain in place. Nothing changes. And ultimately, this is our preferred outcome because we value California's independent redistricting commission. As we all know, the gold standard in the country. And this crisis shows that we need to enact national redistricting commissions. If every state followed California's example and adopted independent redistricting commissions, or if Congress required their creation, then we wouldn't even be facing this crisis today. Gerrymandering would be a thing of the past. Finally, I want to address the Republicans, members of Congress from California. You can all stop this from happening today. The power is in your hands. I appeal to your better angles, but if you refuse to listen to those angles, then I will rely on your ambition, your self-interest, and your desire to keep your house seat and your paycheck. You can ask President Trump to end this. You can tell him to call off these partisan gerrymanderings in Texas and in other states. But if he decides to move forward with his plan to steal Democratic seats, then Californians will be the firewall. We have defended authoritarians before, and we'll do so once again, but with the power of our votes. Today we have two individuals here to testify in support: Jody Hicks, CEO of Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California, and Professor Sarah Sadwahani, a member of the California Citizens Redistricting Commission.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair and members. And I am Jody Hicks with Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California, representing all 7 affiliates and over 100 health centers throughout the state, in strong support of this